Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Listen, another episode, Slow Feed Don't Eat podcast. I'm hitting you guys for a second time this week because the game, the information, honestly, is just that important. So tonight's episode is going to be pretty cool. I'm excited about this conversation. Shout out to all you guys that were here last night, kicked it with me for almost 2 hours last night. Look, this one is going to be a great conversation. I've got a guy that's going to be joining me tonight who has been a student here for a couple of months. He's had some success, and I'm going to highlight and share his story. I want you guys to hear from him. I want you guys to be able to ask him some questions as well about his journey, things that you're trying to figure out, understand. So I'm excited, man. I'm pumped up. We got Thanksgiving this week. I got a special announcement too that's going to come tonight. Don't let me, guys, listen, if you're in the chat, don't let me forget this special announcement, all right? Make sure before I get off of here, y'all ping me in the comments and say, hey, Chris, what about the special announcement? What, you were going to tell us something? Couple of church announcements, okay? I want you to go share this thing on Facebook. Go share this thing on YouTube. Can you share on YouTube? Share it wherever you can share it, all right? Go send this thing out. Let people know about the conversation. Let people know about the video so they have an opportunity to come check this out as well. Listen, man, tonight is going to be super, super cool. I've got Kyle Park. All right. So if you're one of my students, if you're in the group, in the freshman group, I'm sure you've seen Kyle Park around. He's been very active in the group. I like to say that Kyle came in with the swing and the bat, right? He came in aggressively trying to figure things out, understanding things, asking the questions that he needed to ask to get the information that he needed to be successful. And he was able to get all that information. Really, from my perspective, when he came in, he was green. He didn't know, up from down. And he just was specific about asking the questions that he needed to ask, getting the information that he needed, utilizing the U to his full advantage, taking advantage of being able to ask questions on a daily basis, 24/7, to get feedback directly from me as far as what he needed to be doing inside of his business to ultimately close his first wholesale deal. And I like sharing the first wholesale deal stories because, you go on, you do hundreds and hundreds of deals after that first deal, but there's just nothing that feels like that very first deal, because we all go through that period of doubt where we don't even think this business is possible. We don't even think there's a way to do the things that we hear can be done in the business, making the money and freeing ourselves from our 9-to-5 and all these different things. And then we do that first deal, we get that proof of concept, and then it's like, oh shit, like this really actually works, and I can really put this into place and change my life, change my circumstances. So we're gonna try to get out of here by 8:00. We'll see. Let me get Kyle Park in here. Kyle, what's going on, man?
Hey, Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. Listen, it's good to see you. Thank you for jumping in on here and having a conversation with me tonight. I'm really excited to have you, man. So, Kyle, tell me where you're located. You're in the DMV area, right?
Yes, I recently moved down to Falls Church, Virginia. Yes.
Awesome, man. So, what market are you currently working in?
I would say I'm currently in the DMV market, like DC, Maryland, and Virginia. I'm trying to target all three metro area right now.
Awesome. So let's take it back a couple of months to you're getting into real estate wholesaling. You're trying to figure this thing out. How do you start researching even real estate wholesaling in the first place?
So 3 years ago, I was actually studying for a New York City real estate license. So I was actually just got my license. I got into a company and started to do some research about the real estate market and everything. I saw Max Maxwell's video. So I was like, okay, wholesale is like a selling without license. There's a whole new market for it. So I'm like, okay, I just got my license. Let me do what I just got. And 2 years passed. I closed a couple of deals. I was doing okay in a very luxury, like top rank. At the same time, the COVID came. And I got my first exclusive, everything's shutting down. All the regulations start coming in. I'm like, do I really want to stay here when the New York market's kind of depreciating at the same time and the market is like going crazy, regulations like swarming in? I was like, okay, I want to be more free. I want to be more independent. So I started watching Naz's video, 9 parts about how the wholesale works. I'm like, okay, makes sense. I think I can do it. At the same time, how do I do comps? Because I know how to do comps with the retails. But for the ads, it's I had no idea how to do it. So I was actually watching the live that you guys were doing. I was like asking a bunch of questions. You probably remember I was being annoying.
Yeah.
Asking a bunch of questions. I'm like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. Let me sign this up. I think it's gonna work. And it did. I'm just gonna tell you, it really did work.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you taking a chance on me, taking a chance on the you. Shout out to Nazar, man. That's my guy, man. He's hilarious. He's full of information, man. Great guy. So you come across me, you make the decision to join the U. When you get in the U, man, what are you thinking? Because I remember you coming in, and I remember you first getting in. You're asking a lot of questions. What are you thinking once you got in the group?
I'll be very honest with you. I actually bought 2 more courses before I got yours. They were actually same price. At the same time, I was not getting any values whatsoever. You just post like a bunch of videos. I'm like, okay, watch this and do that. I'm like, okay, it's really out there. Like, it's available on YouTube. Like, why would I pay this much money and do the same free course that I could take on YouTube? So I was actually really skeptical when I came in. I'm like, okay, is this real? Is there gonna be another, just one of those? I started watching the videos. I'm like, okay, makes sense. The information is actually there. There's a community that I can ask the questions to. I can relate to these people, and you're consulting me. Like, this is great. Like, this is exactly what I needed. That's why I, decided to stay. That's definitely value in it. Yeah.
I love it, man. Yeah, I mean, we set up the U in a very, very specific way with a specific purpose, which was for me to be able to be involved on a daily basis in you guys' lives, in you guys' journey, your businesses. So I'm loving it, man. So you get in, and Kyle, here, this is what I remember. Anybody who's in the U, you probably remember this. You were trying to figure out the contract for a really long time. All right, you were on top of it every call.
And you were going to a lawyer for that, by the way.
So you had the contract,
right?
You were going through it. You ended up taking it to a lawyer, you said?
I added a bunch of things. This lawyer was a license disclosure and everything. I did like, hey, what should I add? I'm still consulting right now. We're coming over the final form maybe like next week.
Awesome, man. Awesome. I love it, man. And that's a good point, right? Sometimes you want to take that contract that we provide you guys, and you want to take it to an attorney and get it customized for you. When that contract was made, I had that contract made customized to me, and I'm sharing that with you guys, my students. However, you can always take that document and add to it, take things out, whatever the case might be, as it kind of pertains specifically to your business. So shout out to you for taking those steps, man, and doing that. So I got a question for you, Kyle. We're going to kind of freelance this thing a little bit. So what was because I remember that you were struggling with, do I stay in the program? Do I not? I'm trying to get these deals done. I want to do my first deal. What kind of was the mindset at that time? And I want you to speak on it, because a lot of people struggle when they first get into the business. One, we always have small budgets. When I started, I didn't have any money whatsoever. So we're working on a small budget. And then we're also working on an abundance of information. There's just so much information that is out there and available. Sometimes it's hard to know what direction should I even go. So how were you able to balance that at that time?
I'll put it this way. I see parts of you as more like a gym. Like, I have to pay the membership, but I have to put the work in order for me to get that. There's no point of me keep paying, just sitting down, doing nothing. I'm just literally throwing money away. Reason for me to consider quitting for a period of time was like, okay, I saw the information. I'm ready for it. I want to get a field experience. Come back and ask more questions. You suggest me that, okay, you can actually get first deal within 30 days. I was like, okay, maybe I can do that. I actually went out and did it somehow. So.
No doubt, man. Because
you were definitely right.
Yeah, no, listen, and that's the thing, man. I'm here to support you guys. I'm here to try to do my best to point you in the right direction. And sometimes what you think is the right direction, with experience of 10 years plus and different things, I'm able to see like, hey, no, you got to keep pushing this way a little bit to get to the place that you need to go, man. So I'm awesome to see what you've been able to do. I'm excited to talk about tonight, your first deal story, man. The reason I put this podcast together initially was I wanted to provide a platform for people to share their first deal story. I think it's important for others who are starting out, working on their first deal, even people that are seasoned in the business already, hearing that first deal. Because it's one thing for me to be on the podcast circuit and going to a bunch of different podcasts interviews and things of that nature. Sure, right. But hearing from somebody that just a few months ago didn't know what they were doing, got started in the business, was able to take some information, put it together, figure some things out, do their first real estate wholesale transaction. I think those stories need to be saluted and highlighted because it's going to motivate and inspire other people that may think this isn't possible, because we've all at some point or another, right, thought this wasn't a possible opportunity. So Kyle, let's jump into your first deal. Let's talk about this deal a little bit. And then once we finish talking about, we'll answer some questions together and stuff like that. So let's back all the way up. So how did you even, I know you're in the DMV area in Falls Church. How did you figure out what market you wanted to wholesale in?
Okay, so when I was actually staying in Manhattan, New York, I was actually watching all the videos of Max Maxwell doing the list source, the video. So I actually ran some numbers. I was like, okay, in New York City, Westchester area, Long Island area, it's not bad. At the same time, the regulations are really, really tighter compared to the DMV market. Right. I'm like, I grew up in DMV. I've been there for over 15 years. I know exactly all the streets in Baltimore. Why not temporarily move to the DMV market, raise the money, and I can come back to New York market if I want to? So I was like, okay, let's do the list tag. I actually got the zip code. All the Baltimore was the most probably foreclosed area.
Market. Sure.
Extremely active market. I was like, so you probably remember this. I ordered 300 band designs.
I remember this. I remember.
Yeah, you remember this now. Exactly.
Yes.
I'm going to be very upfront about this right now. Okay, so I went out for 2 weeks and put out a bunch of band designs for 2 weeks. Like 3 in the morning. It's like cops are watching me, like trying to think I'm trying to break into somewhere. They're like just like following me and everything. I'm like, okay, let me just put all these signs out there. I got 2 legitimate leads out of 300 band designs.
Wow. Yeah.
And one fell off, and one just got caught and went through. So I'm just letting people know that anybody listening, band design is not exactly the best lead generation source. I'll go for an SMS or cold calling.
Yeah, and see, the thing with bandit signs that I try to tell people is that you got to put out a lot of bandit signs, and you got to do it consistently for it to work and for it to make sense. And the reality of it is that the way that we teach it, even with a smaller budget, you can really get out in front of sellers, pretty aggressively. Speaking of budget, so Kyle, what was your initial starting out budget when you came into the U that you were going to use as marketing? So not to pay for the U or anything like that, but just strictly your marketing.
Like disposable income that I have was maybe like $2,000 to $3,000 at most at the moment.
Gotcha.
I was like, okay, band design is cheaper, prop team, whatever. I got basic things. I was like, okay, where do I want to go with this? I put my money in the band design. I got lucky. Now, next time, I'm going to go for cold calling and SMS tags and other things.
Yeah. So you got that customized marketing plan, and it kind of started to go to work. So, so you start going to work. When you make that transition, where do you get your first list from? So where do you get your list from? And then how do you start marketing to your list initially when you guys started?
I definitely looked up charged up data. I definitely signed up and got some Baltimore buyers, people who are sellers. I got some of the basic down. I mostly tried to cold call them and everything. It just was time consuming, so I relied on the band design. But now I realize that buying data and SMS texting, things like that, are very, very more important than just going out and putting a bunch of band designs in my opinion.
Absolutely, no question about it. You can just, at the end of the day, you can just cover more ground.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you can reach out to more people. So, all right. So you're working off charged up data as far as your list, guys. That's PropStream. You can go get a free trial. You can get up to 10,000 records a month. You can also check out chargeduplist.com. So you go get this. You go skip trace it. Where are you going to skip trace for your phone numbers?
REI definitely is.
Yeah. All right. So you go out, you skip trace, you get your phone numbers, and then once you get that information. How did you reach this particular seller that you did your first deal with?
The first deal actually came in from the band design. It was an inbound lead.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was actually, the funny thing is, the person actually was getting lowballed multiple times in the Baltimore area. And she actually reached out, okay, I actually gave her the good number that we can all be happy at the same time. The funny thing is that her sister passed away, and her sister's name was actually Kyle. She was like, okay, yeah. It was like some reminiscent value. Yeah, somehow it's counted. It really was. So I was like, okay, it's gonna work out. She trusts me. I'm just being really genuine to her. We clicked.
Yeah.
Everybody walked away happy with the same amount of money that we promised. Yeah, that's how I really want to keep this. Yeah.
Absolutely. So when you get this lead from her and y'all are talking, you mentioned a buzzword. Kyle, you're in the freshman group, so I know you know how big of a buzzword comps is. And so I want to talk a little bit about the comps and the comp process for you in this particular deal.
Right.
Because I remember you spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to comp,
Yeah.
what the comp process was. You know, I've got
Right.
a particular method that I teach when it comes to comps. So how did you go about comping this lead out to figure out exactly what your offer should be?
I remember like a couple weeks ago, you comped the old Baltimore house that you used to live in. And so I remember how you actually use the prop string to compare all the MLS and public data, whatever, how they actually pay the cash to acquire the renovated house and everything. I used the exact same method. It was smaller budget area. It was like $55,000, like a regular price range. So I was like, I wasn't sure. I was like, okay, if I sell this for this much amount, will I be able to make everything happen? At the end of the day, I really had to like believe in myself, and I actually put the number down, present that number, convince the buyers, and actually everything made it happen. Yeah, smooth.
So Kyle said something extremely important. Comps is not a definite. There's no specific number that you're trying to calculate to when it comes to comps. Comps is a feeling. Comps comes from practice. And with that practice, you're able to develop a feeling of where you feel like when you look at the information that you need to be numbers wise.
Right.
The other thing that Kyle mentioned is, our comp method. The comp method that I teach, we call it the as is comp method. And how that works is that you're taking the property, the subject property that you want to do a deal with, and you're looking for other properties in same or similar condition using the pictures available, and you're trying to match those up. All right. So value for value. If a house doesn't have heating and air and it has an old roof and wood windows, you want to try to match it up as close as possible to a comp that's in that same condition. Once you're able to do that, you're able to back out your assignment fee, back out where you want to start your offer at, create some wiggle room, and kind of go ahead and start that particular process. If you need help understanding how to comp, if you need help understanding what the as-is method is, how you should understand and implement it, I have another YouTube video that I want you to go check out after you watch this video. I break it down in full. I'm telling you, it's an absolute game changer. I started comping this way over 3 years ago. I don't know why everybody else doesn't do it. This is the best way to comp. So you should go check that out right away. So Kyle, you get the property, you get the lead rather.
Right.
She calls you off the bandit sign.
Right.
All right, you guys start talking. Do you make an offer on that initial call, or do you call her back? How did you do that?
So funny thing, I actually used your method, tried to make the offer right away through the phone. And she was kind of shocked, like, you haven't even seen the house yet. Like, why are you making the offer? I'm like, it's okay, I can sell this. she wasn't really looking at me. I was like, come tomorrow at 12 o'clock. I'm like, okay, fine. I walked in there, like she saw me, I was like, okay, this guy's Asian. He looks pretty professional. I'm like, okay, this is working. I really was being genuine to her. I'm like, okay, this is a number that everybody can walk away happy. If you sign right now, I'm really gonna sell this for you. You walk away with this number. She was like, okay, you know what, Kyle, I trust you. I think this is the right move. And she actually signed it. Within 3 days, I was able to sell it right away.
Awesome. So let's talk about this. So you were able, it sounds like you built massive rapport, and that's extremely important. You had the same name as somebody in her family who had passed away. So obviously that had probably evoked emotion in her and some sentimental value. And you were able to build on that with the seller to start building that relationship. So it sounds like you went out to take a look at the property, and while you were there, you had a contract in hand.
Exactly. Written down and everything. I like everything written down and everything prepared. Just sign. That's it.
Smart move, guys. You should never, ever go look at a property with a seller and not have a contract in your hand. Okay. If you are going to meet a seller at a property to walk through it, take a look at it, whatever the case might be, you 110% should have a contract in hand, ready to be filled out, already with your information on it, because you should be setting the expectation with the seller that you're coming looking to get a property under contract to purchase it from them. So She signs it. I remember you trying to figure out what title company you needed to use. I feel like I remember that. All right. So it's coming back to me now a little bit. So you get the contract. How did you figure out what title company to even use here?
Okay, so funny thing is, I actually uploaded on the Facebook Market, and I got some guy, a local Baltimore investor, who was like really wanting to buy this property. He was like, okay, hey, I want to make the offer right now. I'll put the buy now as his price. And he actually
hold on. This is great. I'm glad.
There you go. You got it now.
I love it. All right. So one of the things that I teach, we'll give them a little bit of juice. All right, we'll give them some juice. One of the things that I teach is to market your deals on Facebook Marketplace, obviously. But when you're marketing it, you have your asking price, but you also have the buy it now price. Cal, do you want to kind of explain the buy it now price?
Sure. Like, I mean, from what I've learned, is like buy it now price, like slightly cheaper price, but you actually get to waive the inspection. So the buyer will not even like walk into the property and they just sign the remotely and just get the right and pay for you right away.
Exactly. So when you got that buyer that's, hey, I want to buy it right now. I don't want you to sell it to anybody else.
Exactly.
Please sell it to me. It's like, hey, listen, look, this is what we can do. I've got to buy it now price. I'm asking 100,000. However, I got to buy it now price right now at 97,000. If you can pay 97,000, no contingencies, don't need to go look at the property, anything like that, we can sign a non-contingent contract at the buy it now price of 97. So, Kyle, I love it. That tells me you were digging into the videos in the course, man, and you were getting all that.
Yeah, I really paid attention to everything in little detail. Yeah, definitely picked it up.
I love it.
The problem with this deal was that she had an agent on his side. Like buyers.
That's the tricky situation.
Yeah. They want to use a standard Maryland purchasing with a sales agreement contract. I'm like, I've never even seen this before. I'm like, am I allowed to sign this? Are they going to push me out? So I actually called my lawyer right now that I just met. So I actually was like, hey, can you read this over? Is it okay to sign this right now? They're like, it looks okay. Nothing seems wrong. You can sign it. I was like, okay, these are the people that I'm going to go with. All right, let me sign this. So I waited, and it did. Close smoothly at the end of the day. I was really glad. We had some bumpy roads, like, do you have this document? Do you have this? And blah, blah, blah. We actually found everything. Seller actually had it. Everything was smooth. Thank you.
And that's part of the thing that we talk about a lot is you got to have the ability to fail forward. You don't have to know everything to do your first deal. Kyle's telling you guys right now that he's an example of that. You don't have to know every single thing about every single step to be able to get to your first closing in this business. So you get it on the contract, you find your title company, that works itself out. So how did you find your buyer? Was it from the Facebook Marketplace?
Yes. So funny thing is, I actually went around the Facebook groups and tried to collect cash buyers in DMV market, like by the emails and everything. I actually collected 150. I was like, okay, I have plenty right now. If I actually email it out, I'm pretty sure one of them will buy it. I used the GMS. I actually sent it out to 150 people. Half of them opened, none of them replied. I'm like, oh shit, what do I do?
Yeah, I'm not gonna sell this thing.
And you told me go to the Facebook Market and try to even put it up. I'm like, okay, maybe Facebook Market is the next one. I went to the Facebook Market. Within 3 hours, this guy that I was talking about hit him right up my way. I'm like, I want this right now. Let's make it happen. I'm like, okay, maybe it'll work.
I love this, man. So this is the power of taking the information that I teach you guys and just literally putting it to work. So you get it up on Facebook Marketplace within 3 hours. You just went through trying to get 150 people to take a look at this thing.
Right.
Nobody responds.
Nobody.
You put it up on Facebook Marketplace within 3 hours. This guy's blowing your phone up, wanting to buy this deal. Okay. And so does he buy it for the asking price and go look at it, or he actually buys it for the buy it now price?
Buy it now price. He literally wanted the site right away.
That's awesome. So what was your original asking price? And then what was your buy it now price?
55 and 52. 3,000 difference. Exactly.
I love it, man. So you take a couple grand off. It's a number that you're going to be happy with at the end of the day, because it's no hassle. You don't have to deal with going out to the property, dealing with buyers and stuff like that. So you present them with that buy it now price. He says, hey, you know what? 52, Kyle, I can make it work. And what are you asking him for to put in a contract or assign it to him? Are you asking for a deposit, proof of funds?
For fun. Yes, absolutely. The funny thing is, he had exactly $55,000 in his proof of fund.
Oh, really?
That was the one for him. He had no other options. That's why he was like going crazy about this deal.
That must be why he took the buy it now price, right?
Exactly. That's why he had to.
So So he takes the buy it now price. He gives you the proof of funds. How much did you make him put down as an assignment on the deal?
I think it was 2,500. I actually negotiated this really hard. The buyer's agent tried to put the buyer's agent fee on me and everything, on my sellers and everything. I mean, my background is real estate agent. I know how this game plays. So I was like, okay, you know what? I promise my sellers exactly this amount. I can't take out any money. Please have your buyers pay the buyer's agent fee, everything, and closing costs, and please raise the EMD to 2,500, and we'll sign this right now. And they were like, exactly. I negotiated really hard down.
And I'm guessing non-refundable 2,500.
Exactly, non-refundable, yes.
Yeah. So worst case scenario, your buyer doesn't show up, whatever case might be. You're at least walking with
right EMD.
Awesome, man. So and you did an assignment, right?
Yes, I did an assignment. Yes.
Did all parties, so meaning the seller and the buyer, use the same title company or attorney?
Yes, they did. So there was like a regular title company that that does a regular real estate retail connection. And they actually went through the Maryland standard contract, and they added the assignment addendum at the end of it, so made it sound like a assignment contract. Yes.
Awesome, and this is actually a great point because I get this question a lot. I see it sometimes inside of the group, and what that question is, hey, I'm talking with a realtor and I'm trying to make this deal happen, but the realtor is telling me that I have to use their contract.
Yeah.
And so some people struggle with this, right? It's because our mind is fixated on, well, I've got this contract that I'm supposed to use to wholesale.
Right.
How do I go and use this realtor contract? There's really no difference. Their contract's always going to be a much longer contract. Ours is 2 pages. Theirs is going to be 8 to 10 pages. But if you add the language, guys, about the property being sold on assignment, so if you add the assignment addendum like Kyle did, or if you put on the buyer line and or assigns, then you can assign that contract, no problem. Perfectly fine, man. So that's awesome to hear, Kyle, that you did that as well. So you get through that process. You got your buyer. What's the closing process like? So I know, because I want to ask you this: how does it feel when you find that buyer and you realize, like, hey, I've got an opportunity to make some money here? What's that feeling like at that time?
So when the deals start to come together, is that what you're asking right now? Oh yeah, great. It was like the best feeling you could possibly have, because I struggled to be the luxury real estate agent for 2 years. I only closed like a couple of deals because I was actually mostly spending my time in interning. But it's my first time I did everything 0 to 100 by myself. I made this like, okay, this is working. I can do this. I have a confidence now that I can do this repeatedly.
Absolutely, man. Hats off to you for that. That's one of the things about the business is a lot of it is a confidence thing starting out.
Right.
You got to have the confidence that you can move the deal forward, and it takes a lot, right? There's pressure on you, I'm sure, because you're coming from a team environment where you're used to working with multiple people to get closed, things of that nature. Now the buck is stopping and starting with you. It's you're the decision maker. You've got to make the decision. You've got the support of me and the you, and to help you and things of that nature. But ultimately, you've got to really make the call. So you make the call. You get this thing moving towards closing. Did you run into any issues in this deal prior to closing? Any lien issues or buyer-seller issues?
Not the lien issue, but like I told you that her sister passed away, and they made the estate, whatever the legal process is, they were missing one of the documents. So like if that was missing, it could be delayed for 3 months, 4 months. We have God knows how it's going to go. Thank God they actually had prepared everything. They got all the papers in the folder, and they sent it right away, and everything went smoothly. If it wasn't for that, it could have been delayed for months.
So luckily, you had a seller that was, it sounds like, pretty organized and had
the husband. Yes,
the husband. He had all the documentation together.
Yeah, thank God, he was very organized.
So they were able to provide the document that the title company needed.
Right.
You get this thing to closing. All right. And what is? Let's back up. I want to make sure I got this clear. So, when did you join the U?
Almost 2 months ago. Yeah.
All right. So almost 2 months ago, and you did your first deal. How soon after you joined?
A month, I would say. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's absolutely crazy, man. I love hearing these success stories, man. I love giving you guys a platform to share this stuff. and talk about it. So I got to ask you this. So Kyle, did you get the title company to pay you in a check, or did they wire the money to you?
I definitely got to check. I wanted to physically hold it in my hand. I was like, putting some Instagram photos.
No doubt.
Friends,
I love it, man. So how much did you make on that particular deal? Your first deal, you get into the system, charged up you within 30 days, you end up closing your first deal, which is crazy. This is awesome. Right. How much did you make on that deal?
$7,000.
7,000. That's good money. I can do a lot of things with 7,000. So that's awesome, man. Congratulations to you, 110% on that. So when you went to pick up that check, how did it feel to get that check in your hand for 7,000?
A lot of emotions were crossing. I told you about, I had a hard time putting the deals together myself as an agent and everything for 2 years. I did everything by myself. I'm like, okay, I'm opening up my own company. I'm really becoming my own boss. I own this now. I'm responsible. It's like almost like my baby. I have to protect this and grow this from here on out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I love how you answered that, because, one of the things I talk to you guys inside the U a lot about, and even talk to people about publicly, is, my job as your coach is I'm not just trying to coach you on how to do a deal. Like I'm going to get you everything you need to do your first deal or to grow your business, whatever the case might be. Right. But I want to truly show you guys and teach you guys how to build an actual business, not just doing deals here and there, whenever, like to build an actual real company, a real business. And so that you can grow and scale that thing, man, and make massive profits, do different things for your family, do different things for yourself. So salute to you, man. Big boss salute.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you, man, and the hard work that you put in since you came into the U. So speaking of which, right, we talked about building businesses. So did you do this? Did you have an LLC figured out before you started your first deal? A lot of people ask me all the time, hey, do I have to have an LLC to get started? What was that like for you?
So I knew the LLC I'm going to need it at some point, but I didn't have enough money to go to see a lawyer or do the research and everything. So as soon as my first deal was about to set to close, I went to see a lawyer, had a consultation in person. I met the partners, I had a consultation. What do I need to fix the contract and everything? And I set up the LLC in a very secure form where I can be protected from the liability and the tax and whatever. Yep. So I got that down as towards the end of when about to my first deal was closing. Yes.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So guys, you can close a deal just like Kyle did without having to have an LLC set up. Some people are starting on really tight, smaller budgets. And one of the things that we specialize in is teaching people on really small budgets how to get started in the business. And you can do what Kyle did. Once you get that first deal closed or in process, then you can get the LLC set up if that's what you need to do, and you can't afford to do it up front in some instances. So it sounds like you're well on your way, man. You're putting all the pieces together. What are you working on currently, man? You knocked the first one out really fast. What are you working on right now and getting done?
For past 2 weeks, I had to help my family because my mom been out of the job due to COVID. So I had to help her get a new job and everything. Thank God she's good right now. She's lined up for all those sorts of interviews and everything. Right now, I'm setting my LLC set up right now. My bank account's open. My credit card and debit cards are arriving right now. I'm setting up my SMS text blast right now. I'm looking at the market. I'm analyzing. I'm planning my next move right now.
I love it, man. I know you're tapped in on the charged up U secret weapon. I know that you have the launch codes as well, and I know you're getting ready to get super active on that thing, man, and do a whole lot of deals and make a whole lot of money. And I'm excited to be a part of it, man, and I'm excited to see you grow. So hats off to you, man. You're going to continue to focus and do some awesome stuff. I want to kind of open this up for Q&A. I want to get some questions from some folks that you can help answer. I can help answer as well. And let's answer some questions for people, man, and see what people might have going on. Let's check out the comments here. So, yeah, this is real. So bandit signs in Baltimore. Yeah, you got to be a real hustler to go put out bandit signs in Baltimore. You definitely, you definitely do. I love it, man. I love it. The U is like a Facebook platform without drama or people you don't like and all the free knowledge. Plus the biggest JV group, students in every state. 100%, man. We've got students all over the country that are doing phenomenal things. A lot of JV deals are going on. A lot of people working together. I think it's definitely awesome to see. Let me see what we got here. Let's see. Bigger Pockets. I see Bigger Pockets is in here. Charles Armstrong, it's good to see you in here. So he's got a question. When listing a property on Facebook, are you ever worried if the seller sees the property? How do you market it?
What do you mean when they see the property and they worry about it? What's the question?
Yeah, so like say you put the property on Facebook Marketplace, are you concerned at all that the seller you had the property under contract with could potentially see it on Facebook?
Oh, can they see it on Facebook if I actually listen on it? What I did was I actually got the walkthrough video. So I used to do a luxury real estate. So I have my background is video as well. So I actually had a hand stabilizer. I made a whole walkthrough video of the upstairs, downstairs, backyard, and everything. So they basically didn't really need to go there in person to go inside. They basically knew exactly what it was. That's why he took the buy now price.
I love it, man. So that's a gem, guys. Great comment, Kyle. So guys, what Kyle did is he went and shot a video walkthrough of the property. And by shooting a video walkthrough of the property, he essentially showed exactly what was what at the house, what every room looked like, what the exterior looked like,
right,
things of that nature. So you definitely want to make sure when you're sending deals out to buyers, whether you're posting it on Facebook, sending it out to your buyers list, having a video walkthrough is absolutely huge. So I'll answer this question too. I don't worry about it if I put a property on Facebook Marketplace. I've only had this happen one time. So it's not something I really would worry about whatsoever. Just make sure, guys, when you post on Facebook Marketplace that you don't post the exact address of the property when you post it. You can post the zip code or maybe the street, something like that, but don't put the full-blown property information on it. It's a good question from Devil Dog. Good to see you back in here again, Devil Dog. So what's something you learned from your first deal that you'll use for your next deal?
Definitely not going for the bandit sign as my main market. I told you, so I put 300 bandit signs. I was rating on the rainy days. I was putting these things up. I got 2 leads and one fell off. So I'm telling you, like, bandit signs are like, you're really gambling. Yes, it can't work, but I wouldn't go that as my main.
Right. Yeah. It's not something to use as your main primary source to market and get deals. And what made you pick bandit signs in the first place, by the way?
I'm sorry, what's that?
What made you pick bandit signs in the first place?
Oh, I mean, I was watching Nas's video, I guess. He had some multiple videos about the bandit signs. So I was like, okay, that looks cheap and it sounds like it's going to work. And then the regulations in DMV is a little more weaker than the NYC. I was like, okay, it might work. That was my first initial thought, yeah.
I love it. Shout out to ID. I see ID is in here. The U is the best. Much love to you. Congrats on your closing today as well. Big shout out to you. Claude, you fam. So how long did it take from the intro with the lead? So when you first got in touch with the lead, so when the lead first called you, how long did it take you to get the closing?
I guess it took about 30 days, I'll say. Like, within 3 days, I was able to, put the cash buyer and the seller together and everything. But like the waiting period to close was about 3 weeks almost.
Gotcha. So it took you about 3 weeks to get the property closed. Makes sense.
Yes.
This is Tez. What's going on, man? What's going on? You as a good tight family. Sarge, what up? Family business, man. Yeah, you guys know the vibes, man. The you as a family, man. We keep it tight. We look out for each other. We help each other any way that we can. And we have an abundance mindset in the U, man. We want to see every single student be successful that puts forward the work. With development, Kyle, I don't know if you've heard about this. I'll talk about this. So New York is trying to be like Philly and Illinois. So Kyle, are you familiar with the news that came out?
The license thing, yeah.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts, I guess, on that? I'll ask you first.
I mean, I don't see New York like enforcing that kind of law at this moment. I have a license, so it wouldn't affect me. At the same time, people will do whatever they want to go around the law anyways in New York. So in my opinion, it's not going to happen in New York anyways. It's something back to yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to second that. I don't see this being the end of the world. I think that more regulation will impact and come into wholesaling. It's just the nature of the beast. Important thing to understand is that realtors, for example, have the National Association with Realtors, and they pay dues every quarter, and those dues go into that organization lobbying for their interest and doing different things for them. All right. Wholesalers, us as wholesalers, there's no governing body. There's no national wholesaler organization that's lobbying for our interest and things of that nature. So there's going to be regulatory things that happen, and it's just a part of the process. I don't see this being a problem. I don't see this being something that prevents you from being able to wholesale. I think it will lead, it'll lead to more double closes and things of that nature, where you may have to actually take ownership of the property to be able to sell it. I foresee that a lot of hard money lenders will then probably start creating financing opportunities for wholesalers specifically to help you guys be able to do these transactions. So don't let what's happening in Philly or Illinois discourage you from this business or getting started.
Right.
That would definitely be a mistake. So yeah, somebody was talking about your first deal. First deal was in Baltimore, right?
So yeah, it was Baltimore, definitely. Yeah, I mean, like I looked up I live in Northern Virginia. It's just that the regulation for the bandit signs at the time was definitely tighter in Northern Virginia area, and Baltimore was a little more open. That's why it shows it. At the same time, today I got a call from one of the HOA. Like, there's like, oh, I don't want you putting my bandit signs all around our neighborhood anymore. I'm like, okay, I just I'm like, okay, bandit signs not good anymore. I gotta wait a little bit.
Absolutely, man. So here's the question. So is it true that iBuyers? So guys, iBuyers is like Open Door, stuff like that, Zillow. Is it true that iBuyers are stepping away from the market at the moment due to the economy? I think iBuyers are pulling back. I don't know that they're pulling back because of the economy, because the retail market of real estate is extremely hot right now. I mean, people are listing properties. I'm listing properties with multiple offers. Properties are selling fast. Okay. Now, when it comes to iBuying, I think that has pulled back a little bit. And I think that's only kind of taken a step back because the model of iBuying is to buy in huge volume, which is difficult right now because of the condition of the market being so hot. But one thing we talk about inside of the U, I've talked to you guys before about finding the whales. So finding those buyers that are the hedge fund buyers and the buyers that buy hundreds of properties per year in your market. If you guys go look in the cash buyer video inside the course, I've broken down for you how to find those people if they're in your market. So my thing is, if you have somebody in your market buying at that kind of volume, you want to get on there. You want to have them on your buyers list and know exactly what they're looking for so that you can get that out there to them. Okay. Bam. I have a buyer that didn't have funds for closing set up and had to delay closing 6 days. Would you hit them with an upcharge? If I owe the plug for a pack, he's going to tax me. So, Bam, while I get your analogy, I understand exactly what you're saying. What I would recommend, all right, is give your buyer the 6 days that he needs to close. 6 days isn't the end of the world. Sometimes, you got to get money together. Different things come up. Maybe a lender is supposed to fund the deal and they pull out of the transaction all of a sudden and don't fund it. Don't stress about that. Don't trip. Give your buyer a couple of days. That relationship is more important than charging them a couple $100 for 6 days. You want to maintain that relationship. You want them to continue to buy from you in the future as well. What was the list you targeted to get the deal? So I know this is a bandit sign, right? So I'll ask this in a different way. I'll ask this as a 2-part question. So how did you decide where you wanted to place your bandit signs at?
Definitely the list source tag that I watched for the course and the Max's video. It gave me all the zip codes that I want to target, where all the cash buyers are happening.
All right, so you followed Max's zip code hack, the list source hack. Mm-hmm. You took that, and then once you got that information, you took the zip codes and then said, okay, so in this particular zip code, I need to place signs here, and you found busy intersections.
Right. I basically found a map of the DMV and start putting like a yellow sticker everywhere. I put the bandit signs all over DMV.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, physically. So
nice.
I'm like, okay, that's working. That I'm getting calls from here, this area. I'm analyzing how it's working out. Yeah.
Awesome. That's one of the things that we talk about is you have to test. You have to take the time to track and monitor things to see what's working and where. So yeah, hats off to you for that. Guys, we're going to answer questions for a couple more minutes. So again, if you got questions, go ahead and drop them so that we can answer those for you. What is the easiest way to find cash buyers in my local area? What's your thought, Kyle?
Facebook groups definitely give you a lot of motivated cash buyers. They're actually willing to give you your email address right away when you have something, or if you're willing to find something for them. In my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna second Kyle on that. Yeah, I mean Facebook Marketplace. I mean and Facebook Marketplace and local Facebook groups.
Yeah.
All right, will put you in front of a lot of buyers. I'll put this in perspective. So I sell a lot of deals to people that are Hispanic. I do some owner financing in particular neighborhoods here in Richmond, where the majority of the people that live in those neighborhoods are Hispanic. And so the way that I find the buyers for those deals is very simple. There's a Facebook group, this Hispanic Facebook group for the area, for Richmond City, that's got like, I think 32,000 plus members in it. I go into that group, I post my deal, and then generally within a couple of hours of posting it in there and on Facebook Marketplace, I have multiple offers on my property every single time. So yeah, you guys want to do exactly what Kyle is saying and utilize some of these groups. So I need a better understanding about the selling price for 55,000 from buying at 53,000, an assignment fee of 7. So no, all right. So let's walk through this a little bit, Kyle. So let's go over the numbers again real quick so we can help Pat out. So you had it under contract for how much?
Me personally, I had 45,000.
So you got under contract from the seller for 45,000.
Right.
You then marketed it for sale for 55,000.
Right, with the buy it now price 52.
Right. So he had it under contract between him and the seller for 45,000, and then he marketed it on Facebook Marketplace, stuff like that, for buyers at 55,000. Now, one of the things that I teach inside of my program is something called a buy it now price, and the method behind the buy it now price. So his buy it now price was 52,000, correct, Kyle?
Yes.
All right. So he ended up having his buyer from Facebook Marketplace that was willing to take it for the buy it now price without having to go look at it in person, without having to have a contractor go by and do an inspection or anything like that. He was willing to buy it for the buy it now price of 52,000. And so he made 7,000 as his assignment fee. He made the difference between 45,000 and 52,000. Guys, the reason that the buy it now price works so well is because it creates a sense of urgency to the buyers in your market that they have to act quickly on the deal if they want to make something happen. All right. How many bandit signs do you normally put out and how often?
Okay, so I bought 300. Within 2 weeks, I put out all 300. Like, I took massive action. But like I told you, 2 leads out of 300 bandit signs.
Yeah. So I mean, you much rather call.
Exactly. To get in front of the sellers. Yeah.
All right. Awesome. So where did you buy your bandit signs at, by the way?
DirtCheapSigns.com. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Yeah, that site's been around a long time. I used to get mine from there another lifetime ago. So that's cool to hear. Kyle, actually, hold on. We got something here. So if my market is locally, what is the best way to find deals?
Market is local.
So if he's working his local market, what would you suggest for this person to do to find deals? If they want to go find deals in the neighborhood they live in right now, how would you suggest that they go out to find deals?
Writing for dollars and SMS cold call. Yeah, that's what I would.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like SMS. I like cold calling a lot as well. If you're a member of my coaching program, I'm not sure if you are, but if you are, you should absolutely have the nuclear codes, and you should be putting those to work to get some deals closed using the methods that we just talked about. I'll answer this one. So have you tried any virtual staging? I'm working with it now. No, I haven't done any virtual staging because we're selling these deals to investors. We don't need to stage them with furniture or virtually stage them with pictures or anything like that. They know what they're buying. They're buying it to either fix it up and rent it out, or they're buying it to fix it up and rent it, and flip it and sell it. So I don't know that we need to, try to virtually stage it. Kyle, how much did you pay for the 300 signs that you got?
So the sign itself actually wasn't that bad. It's just that the metal H stake
Yeah.
and the shipping fee. Geez, they're like 35 per box. It was like ended up paying like $450 for 300 signs with the shipping fee.
Yeah, so that's how they get you, right? They get you. The sign is super cheap.
Yeah, shipping.
The sign is cheap, but you need the stakeholder. You need the H stakes to go
Right.
to the sign. If you're not nailing them or stapling them to a telephone pole, you need the stakes to go in the ground, and that's what becomes costly. Is paying for those stakes. The amount of money that Kyle spent on those bandit signs, I don't think that he would use that money that way again. I would assume, Kyle, that you would probably use that to do SMS and cold calling.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, because that money's just going to go so much farther.
And it's a physical labor too. I have to be out 2 a.m, dodging cops and putting signs on.
Right. Yeah. Every car starts to look like a cop.
I know.
And it's on you.
I'm wearing this with the hoodie and like with the pole thing, side staple pole.
Exactly.
You guys walking around 3 a.m, with the yellow signs. Yeah, it's not good luck. No.
Pop the Artist, good to see you in here again. So should I still cold call tomorrow during the holiday? Kyle, would you cold call tomorrow during the holiday?
I would personally, if it's me, I was SMS text and be nice about it. Happy Thanksgiving. If you're ever thinking about that, I would slowly ease into it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Kyle on that. I think calling would be a little aggressive tomorrow for the holiday. Sending a text, if you're going to market tomorrow, people are going to be sitting down and at home. So if you decide to market on a holiday, I would take that holiday and utilize that inside of your marketing, your opening line, kind of like Kyle just mentioned. Kind of acknowledge that it is a holiday and that you're not trying to inconvenience or kind of get in the way. Hey, wanted to catch you, Kyle, before you guys started carving the turkey over there. I drove by the house over here at 123 Main Street. Was just kind of curious if you guys had any interest in possibly letting it go. If it's okay, I'd love to reach out. Something to that effect, right? So that way you try not to make people, upset about reaching out on a holiday. I see my guy Bigger Pockets says he can't dodge any more cops. No, Bigger Pockets, we need you to get out. We're going to help you get into real estate. We're going to get you moving. The whole you family is behind you. But yes, you're not going. We don't want you doing anything that has to deal with cops anymore. All right. Let's see what we got here. So, call leads that know you may not get any calls from family. Just be a friend. Yeah, when you call guys, when you're cold calling, reaching out to sellers, you want to be a friend to these people. You don't want to come on so gung ho about trying to do a deal and things of that nature. Really try to truly build the relationship, communicate with people, and really kind of do that the right way, 110%. Kyle, we're going to get ready to get out of here in a minute. We don't have any more questions right now, so we're going to wrap this up here in a second. I wanted to keep this one tonight because we did 2 hours last night. I want to try to keep this to an hour. What any recommendations that you have for the people that are watching this that will see it in the future? There's a lot of people struggling to do their first deal, trying to figure that out. What would you say to that person right now?
Never give up, because English is my second language. I moved to this country when I was like 12 years old. Like, this is not even my first language. I'm putting my effort and sincere heart into it, and the result will come back. Just keep knocking on it, and you will go through the door at one day.
110%, man. I mean, guys, look at Kyle, man. I mean, this is a great story. He came to the U.S. when he was 12. English is his second language. All right. He took a chance on himself. He moved from New York down to D.C. to try to get this business going and make things work. Took a chance on himself by joining my coaching program, and he was able to take the information that he got. He was aggressive about figuring it out, getting the information that he needed from the program, getting questions answered that he had, and he went out and was able to do that deal in his first 30 days, which is a phenomenal feat. That's not going to be typical for everybody. So I don't want somebody to see this and think, hey, I'm going to go be Kyle, right? Everybody's got their own journey, their own process, and everybody has their own timing. That was Kyle's timing. Yours might be sooner, yours might be later. But the key thing here is that Kyle showed up and put in the work on a daily basis to get to where he wants to go. And now he's made $7,000. He's, the sky's the limit. Kyle, what did your parents think when you told them about this?
At first, my parents were like, is that really gonna work? You know, like they're typical Asian people, like lawyer or doctor, you have to be one of those. But, even my grandma was like, why would you do real estate? That's like so dishonorable. I'm like, grandma, it's like almost like good as a lawyer in the United States.
No
so
doubt.
like now that kind of get, I'm like, okay, the real estate thing works.
Yeah. So you had to show them. You had to show them that first check. You had to tell them about it.
I did. That's why they really did that.
I love it, man. That's absolutely awesome. What's the super secret? Look, I'll talk about it publicly here in the future. Right now, me and the U family, we got to enjoy some turkey tomorrow and the holidays. But at some point in the future, we'll make it public. For right now, the launch codes are only for the U, and on all the game that we're building and giving out around it has been phenomenal, and it's been dope to see you guys get the tool, get it implemented, start to have success with it as well. So, the other super secret, my announcement. Cool. So, Kyle, here's the deal. So,
right.
Charles, you're the best. Thank you for reminding me. Bam, you too. Thought you were talking about the launch code. So, here's the deal. This is what I'm going to do.
All right.
Kyle, I've never done this before. All right. So,
okay.
So you're here. This is what I'm doing. And guys, by the way, I need you guys to help and support me in doing what I'm getting ready to do. All right. I'm going to, Kyle, I'm going to give to, and this is anybody that wants it. So I'm not giving you the launch codes yet, but Kyle, I decided for Thanksgiving, because I started the U back in May. All right. I started the U back in May with a really simple goal. I wanted to help as many people as possible get into real estate. That was my goal. I wanted to help as many people as possible get into real estate. So tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Black Friday is this Friday. Everybody's been hitting me up. Chris, are you going to do a Black Friday special, Black Friday sale, something like that? And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I really don't. And the reason I didn't want to do one is because I've already priced the program to be as affordable as possible.
Right.
You know, I'm giving it at a phenomenal value, phenomenal program. But what I did decide to do is for $1, literally $1. All right. For $1, I'm going to let anybody who wants to try out the U, I'm going to give you 48 hours for $1. I'm going to allow you 48 hours access to the U, but you only get it for 48 hours. I'm going to let you check out the U. It's only $1. You get 48 hours to try it out. After 48 hours, if you want to decide to be a part of the U fam, we'd love to have you, love to support you, love to help you out. If after 48 hours you decide that it's not for you, doesn't make any sense, we love and support you as well, and we absolutely understand that. So that's going to be the deal. So it's going to be $1 if you're not a U member yet. For $1, okay, I'm going to be posting about this tomorrow. So for $1, you can try out the U for 48 hours, and you can see what all the hype is about, what all the conversation is about. Because, Kyle, what happens is everybody see, like, people who aren't in the U,
right?
Like the mafia, man. Everybody, when you know what I'm saying, when they're not in the U,
the secret society.
Like, whoa, man, like, what's going on over there, man? What is this guy got going on with the U and all these people coming out of there making all this money? And so I decided I'm not going to discount what I'm offering because I've already got it at a great value. But what I will do is I will give you 48 hours to come in, check it out, see if the program is something that makes sense for you. And that's the secret, man. That's what I'm giving away tonight. So guys, look for that tomorrow on my social media. It'll be on my Facebook, inside the Facebook group, as well as on my Instagram. So you'll look for that tomorrow afternoon. If you want to take advantage of the U for $1, you can take advantage of $4 for 48 hours. There you go. Kyle, what do you think about that? I'm in the giving spirit for the holidays, man. Kyle, do you think that's a good deal, man?
Yeah, I would sign up, definitely, yeah.
Hey, listen, $1, all right, for 48 hours. Now, after 48 hours, if you're not joining the U fam after 48 hours, we got to show you the door, okay? Because we got a lot of top secret information inside of there. So you only get 48 hours to check it out. You're not going to be able to check it out, and don't think you're going to be able to pay $1 and check out the entire U in 48 hours. We've got, I think, like 20, 30 hours of videos inside the U alone. Okay, not even talking about the private group and everything that you get with that, the private chats. All right, so $1, you check it out for 48 hours. If it makes sense for you, we'll join you. We'll let you get inside the U fam. If it doesn't, look, we'll love you anyway, but we're going to have to keep the launch codes to ourselves. How would you market a 2-1 if all the comps in the area are a 3-2 with more square footage? I'll answer this one real quick. So you just have to compensate for the difference. Can an addition be put? Is there enough of a price difference from a 2-1 to a 3-2 with more square footage where it would make sense for an investor to look at putting an addition onto the property in order to be able to get that higher square footage value? And if not, then what could work for them right now as a discount on that price? Maybe the 3-2s are going for $250,000. Maybe it makes sense to have a 2-1 around $200,000 or something to that effect. So just kind of look at it from that perspective. Always giving, yeah, man. I'm always trying to give something to the people. $1, 48 hours. Look, man. Hey, you got to take advantage of it. Simply Bought Homes. You better hit me up. All right, hit me up. And when I launch this tomorrow, again, only for 48 hours. Sign my son up. He's 14. He's not like most 14-year-olds. He's all about dollars. Sign him up, man. Sign him up. Sign him up. I like this. Renisha, I'm proactively telling y'all, welcome to the U. We lit and we charged up, man. I love it, man. I love the students, man. I love it. Sarge said, yeah, look, the videos is packed, man. We got a lot of videos, a lot of content in the U, a lot of information. You will not get through all of it in 48 hours, I assure you. However, it'll give you enough time to get a taste, check it out. It's like back in the day, Kyle, my mom used to take me to Sam's Club and Costco.
Right.
You know, you're walking around, you know what I mean? You walking, they got the little people out there with the samples. You know, yeah, the little samples. So we're gonna give you a little Costco sample size of the U.
Exactly.
See if it's something that makes sense for you. Guys, make sure you go check it out. I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. Kyle, I'll let you close us out, man, before we tap out of here, man.
Yeah, I just want to know. I really appreciate you and our coach being here. It wasn't for that, I wouldn't be able to do this live right now.
No doubt. I appreciate it, man. I'm proud of you. Kyle, happy Thanksgiving.
You too.
Watching this, happy Turkey Day, happy Thanksgiving. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thursday to you. Okay. We'll check back in with you. We'll see you here again soon, right here on YouTube. And look for my social media tomorrow if you want to check out that special. All right. Much love, Kyle, and everybody else. Y'all be good.
Peace out.